Awesome. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here. It'll be helpful if people can mute themselves until they have a question. And yes, we want to be really mindful of your time, so we're going to try to keep it to about half an hour, but it's really great to see you all here. I'm so grateful and feel really blessed. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Lindsay Scott, and we have another Lindsay here with us, Lindsay Shower, and a few other ladies joining us who are hosting this event, and they'll be introducing themselves in just a moment and sharing a little bit. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of background about what the Roots to Radiance is and kind of how we came up with this and what's going to happen in this group. So, the introduction to Roots to Radiance in Navina is a 90-day container, but we're giving 3-month sections so people can join in anytime. But 30 days is a nice entry, and we wanted to allow people to kind of go further. So, the mission of this group is to educate people not only about eating well and mindfully and consciously and intuitively, but also to sprinkle in and even kind of give even more information about regenerative health. Okay, sweetie, can you back up? We want to talk about soil health and gut health, how we can really support our organs and our systems. And then we want to take it a little bit deeper with breath work, positive mindset, and establishing daily routines that are easy for us to kind of weave into our day and then continue on so that we have a healthy life. I know, I'll come find it in a minute, okay? A healthy lifestyle, sorry. Mom life. So the kind of offerings that we have are really entry level to kind of a deeper level. It's depending all on what you're seeking, and we are here for you to kind of guide you and get your questions answered and take it to the level that feels comfortable for you. So when I was kind of coming up with this, I really wanted to allow people to kind of step in and just get some good recipes and try some superfoods. And so if you are an existing customer of any of ours and you've been here before and you've gotten some recipes, you're going to get a whole new recipe book that's going to be printed. We're going to talk about that. And there's different levels of how you can take your daily intake of food and superfoods and herbs.
Ooh, she warned me that her internet might cut out. Um, so just in case there's a little lapse, there's a lot. We're really trying to achieve. I'm the other Lindsay. I'm in Colorado, and we are really trying to just help people achieve their own best whole health. So I think there's so many different issues, and we all come from a different area where we could use support. But really, when we tie those all together, it comes back to whole health, and just incorporating all these other smaller elements to really make the picture complete. So my health journey began 18 years ago when I moved out here to Colorado, and I quite honestly, my mind just was blown. I didn't know, my mom took care of us really well, but I didn't know to what degree we could really take this. I got a job at a health food store, and I kept working there because I just kept learning things. I realized how interesting all of this was, and how much we could empower ourselves. So I've been slowly picking up information along the years and really have turned it into my mission to start sharing that in a way that's going to help people get that same kind of information, but just quicker, because I know it took me a while to get to this point. And in the past 2 years have been exponentially different since I started incorporating these superfoods and really leaning into the community support and finding my tribe, and the people who are still passionate about this. And now we're just all holding hands together down the Alice in Wonderland hole to figure out what else is out there. You know, if I can feel this good, like there's gotta be more. And so that's the information that we really want to share, is just to kind of help empower each of us back to our own whole health. Lindsay, did you want to? Oh, shoot. She doesn't know. Part of living in the sticks, right? The glory of working from wherever. So we are compiling all this information, and we're going to have a Facebook group that will have daily, you know, as Lindsay was saying, there's going to be tools for education and tips that we've found helpful. We're bringing in some other voices that are going to share, you know, yoga and movement and breath work and mindfulness, as well as a recipe book, and all of that in addition to the greatest superfoods on earth so far that we found. And then I guess really the next step for you, if you're curious, is to figure out what your goals are, you know, really get clear on those. And I'm not talking about like just the little things, like the goal next today is to make sure I get a shower before I go to bed, or, you know, those are important, but what are those big ones? Like we really like to do that blue sky thinking. So if you had no limitations on resources, what would you be doing? And see what those goals are, because that's where the passion really lies. And then connect back in with the person who invited you, and let's figure out what kind of baby steps we can help you take to get there. So because a lot of you are interested in this group as it pertains to health, you know, the best, you know, we'll figure out the best fit in this container to support those health goals. And then if there are specific needs or deeper desires for you, let's get you on a free health consult and really start to dig into where the support could benefit you. And so the person who invited you in here also can help you figure out the superfoods that are going to best support you, and whether a 30 or 90-day program and what the involvement looks like. Once you're signed up, you know, we'll get you all the welcome information. There'll be an email that comes out to you. We'll have weekly Zoom check-ins in this group that we can just kind of share our small wins, just, you know, connect and ask questions. We really find this community container, we work best together, and we learn so much more when we really lean into the community. And we'll also send you the free recipe book that we're all compiling from years of our just passion in the kitchen. The one last thing I want to say before I have someone come on to talk about the specific products is, if you're feeling inclined to do this and you can think of someone else that you might want to do this with, I will speak so strongly to the fact that accountability is one of the keys to really making changes in your life that stick. We're trying to crush diet culture. That's such a fad that, you know, isn't really supporting the longevity. So if you can find someone to say, hey, I'm ready to up level my life, you want to do this with me, it's such a fun way to do it, and feel free to bring them in. And if you have a lot of friends that you could think of that would benefit, then definitely connect with one of us and let's figure out how to get you set up with a referral code so that you can get, you know, you can generate a little income. Maybe you can get your superfoods paid for, or who knows, really clear sky thinking, sky's the limit. Lindsay, I don't know if you had something else. I know you kind of got cut off, so if you have something you want to share, maybe go for it.
Yes, sorry everybody. Caribbean internet, thank you. I just wanted to say that, you know, there's lots of extra things, and what I love so much about this is there's this transformation of healing on a cellular level and kind of healing from inside out, or transformation. We're not really supposed to use the word healing because we're not doctors, right? But we can receive nourishment, and we can shed toxins, and we can do so much. So if that calls to you or inspires you in any way, if you're just here to like eat good food, that's awesome. If you're here to kind of take it to a little deeper level, and explore what might be going on inside and radiate from the inside out. We got you. So that's kind of what I wanted to end with. Thanks.
All right, so I will go ahead and talk about products. There's going to be 3 different entry points, and I'm just going to go ahead and talk about. I'm going to start out with the ULT and the Core 4, and so this includes our super aminos, and these are pre-digested plant-based amino acids. I just want to check. Can everybody hear me? Okay, good. So these get absorbed in our body within 20 minutes and they skip our liver and kidneys, which is amazing. So when we are going through a detoxification journey, even if it's big or small, our body's going to want to rebuild and repair the tissues that we're regenerating. And so this is where this comes in and shines. But also is super energizing and gives us just a lot of recovery for muscle. And so we'll get into more detail, but basically, if you eat a lot of proteins, we aren't absorbing 100% of them. Our body actually only absorbs between 11 and 30%, and it's super taxing on our bodies. So that's another reason why these are really great when we're going through these detoxification journeys. Oh, I realized I didn't mention what my name was. My name is Haley Tanberry. I am also studying regenerative health specialist and super excited to be here and be partnering with all these amazing ladies. So yeah, and then, okay, so we talked about the aminos. Now we talk about the super shake or the power shake. And this is micronutrients, and it's all grown on regenerative soils. It's wind and solar dehydrated. And it is not heated up. So a lot of times, like our powders are heated up and processed. And so these really capture all of the nutrients that our bodies need. We'll be going into more detail too. I actually just really connected with one aspect of this that provides our body to detoxify stored iron. And that's a whole nother subject that we'll go over in the container. So yes, this is amazing, and it's food. That's pretty much all it is. It tastes good, so it does not taste like swampy grass, which is also amazing. So you'll take that, and you take that at the same time you take Biomedic. And this is amazing. This product right here. So I originally sought after these products because it was my last ditch effort to heal my IBD. And this right here, and everything in combination, but this in particular was the ticket. And so we basically Roundup and glyphosate, it's in our air, it's in our water, it's in the food we eat. Even if we're eating organic, we're still taking it in. And also if we took it in as a child, it is stored in our body. It misfolds proteins, which is another reason why taking amino acids is super important, and it shows up in other areas of the body. So this removes it. And it has been scientifically third-party tested to remove 75% of it, which is the only product, I think it's the only product on the market that does that. So really, really crucial and great. And when you're talking about regenerating cells and tissues, we really have to start at the gut. Because if our gut isn't absorbing and assimilating everything, then there's going to be issues. So yeah, highly, I love this, like, because this I feel like is the thing that really took me out of chronic pain. Then, sorry, I have a question. Yes, you take it with the green shake. I take it every morning with the green shake and every afternoon. So I've been on the ULT for 6 months now. So this is the bigger package, and you take everything twice. And what I just introduced to you, in addition to this, which is really high in antioxidants, it's tart cherry juice. And it also helps our body produce melatonin. So it's not melatonin, but it helps our body produce it naturally. So it really helps with that deep sleep. And then antioxidants are super important for combating free radicals and for detoxifying. So all that is included, just one of all of everything. So the apothecary, the super aminos, the biomedic, and the power shake are all incorporated into the core 4. And so that's kind of like the middle entry. And then the ULT, which I have been on for 6 months, that one is double all of that, plus the Super Cleanse R. And the Super Cleanse R is just amazing for getting rid of parasites. And so you take this in the middle of your program. And we will all be individually providing you a schedule. So don't worry, don't get confused on when do I take everything. You really have to, you'll get a schedule for all of that. So this is for our removing our parasites. And then what I don't have to show is the entry level, which is the Epigenius Kids, which is, I think of it as kind of like Core 4 in a bag. It has the biomedic in it. It has the antioxidants, lots of fruits, lots of veggies, and you've got that. So you've got that micronutrient dense support. And so if you're really just like, oh, I want to absorb and see what all this is about, the apothecary, or sorry, I was reading the comments. The Epigenius is a really, really good basic start. So it's going to hit the gut level. It's also going to hit the micronutrient support. The only thing it does have protein in it. It just doesn't have the pre-digested plant-based amino acids in it. So yeah, really those are the 3 options, and you can't go wrong with any of them. Like, you will see the benefits no matter what you choose. So that's that. Does anyone have any? I guess there was just one question, but I'll pass it on now.
Thanks, Haley. So yeah, I think we have Jillian up next. Who's going to share some testimonials with us.
Hey everyone, I'm Jillian. I'm in Vermont, and I was introduced to the Core 4 program over a year ago. I went in with extreme skepticism, and it took me months and months to finally give in to a really good friend and just give it a try. I knew I had nothing to lose, and I immediately, after a week, or not even a week, fell in love with how I felt. So I was introduced to the company and the Core 4, and I started with the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation, like Haley was explaining, which is all of the Core 4 products plus the Super Cleanse R right in the middle of those 30 days. And I went into it without any goals per se, but just with this general idea that it would help me with some like poor eating habits, and maybe give me a little energy, and just a fun thing to do, as I love organic food, which this is. Am a grower myself, and also am always working hard with a house cleaning company and exercising a lot. So I knew I had nothing to lose, but didn't have any particular goals in mind necessarily. And for that 30 days, I was just blown away, day after day and week after week. I lost a ton of inflammation in my hands that was really painful, in my shoulders. That would make my arm go numb at night with tingling, in my back, in my knees, like inflammation that I had throughout my body. Just, it didn't dissipate like magic overnight, but it slowly got better and better and better for me. And my pain went away slowly throughout those first 30 days. Something I wasn't really expecting. Another thing that I noticed slowly throughout those 30 days is my sleep became so much more sounder. In part because I was more comfortable and I wasn't in pain from inflammation. And also I was just much more relaxed. This daily angst that I was feeling just got better. And again, not like magic, all of a sudden I woke up and had no anxiety whatsoever, but I realized that I was breathing deeper and I was more comfortable in my body, both physically and emotionally and mentally. My digestion also became just easier. on my body. This belly bloat that I was having, and perhaps maybe always have had, also dissipated throughout the month. I went down a whole pant size, which wasn't a goal of mine, but hey, I'll take it. And just way more comfortable in my skin is all it comes down to. My energy level also just skyrocketed up, and in a way that is polar opposite of having a cup of coffee and feeling like you can conquer the world or clean your whole house. It's an energy that feels like it's deep, deep in my cells and feeding me and grounding me to the earth and to my breath, and just like forcing me forward in a really wholesome way that I have not experienced much in my life, especially while still being in the daily grind. And then the big aha moment for me, and why I have continued this program now every month since for the past year and a half, is my headaches that I've had since I was 13 or 14 years old went down. Like in those first 30 days, I noticed it. And then in those next months, and even still today, they're going away. And I would have headaches more than not. They've been diagnosed as every kind of headache through every kind of scan and MRI and everything. But whatever they are, they're not conquering, they're not taking over my life anymore. And when I do feel something coming on, I'm just able to notice it at an earlier stage, I think, because I'm more in tune with my body and I know what to do. And some of it is actually like pounding some of these products and eating a ton of fruit. And then a lot of it is breath work and stretching and all the other things that this community is really supportive around. And I could talk forever about all of those things that have blown my mind, but I just also really want to note that when I jumped into the ultimate lifestyle transformation a year and a half ago, I invited two of my closest friends, one that I see and work with every day. And that was the biggest and most important thing that I could have done, because we were able to be with each other and support each other and talk about this and hold each other accountable when we wanted to perhaps make a choice that wasn't actually going to support this 30-day program. And then in the months to come, I was noticing differences where I reached out and invited other people, family members specifically, and the majority of those people in my life are also still using the core 4 or pieces of the program in their own ways, some very minimally and some as much as it is possible to use. So it's just been an amazing process for myself, and also witnessing others, and then having this support around me that I had never found before. And yeah, that's all I have to say right now. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, and I'll hop on here. I'm Linda Ewing, and I'm one of the studying regenerative health specialists and yoga teachers here in this little group. And I started this journey in August. Has just been the most powerful thing I've done for my health. I am a former migraine sufferer since high school, and they are next to extinct now, I'm happy to say. Every once in a while, I get a little bit too, I get a little lazy in the evening every once in a while, and if I eat sugar or something like that, they'll try to come back in, but I'm able to manage them so easily now, which is everything. So no prescription drugs anymore. So that's been pretty powerful. And most recently, I have started back up. I've always been active. I live in Colorado. I've spent a lot of time in the mountains and just an active lifestyle, lots of yoga. But I've recently started to incorporate weights back into my day as a way to connect with my 16-year-old son. And I'm a former college athlete. And I was the other day that at my workout, I was thinking, oh my goodness, the prime time, me in my prime doesn't have anything on me at 42 because I have finally figured out what my body is craving as far as this nutrition goes and just what really helps it thrive. I have so much energy. I stopped my daily coffee habit. I'll have one on the weekend just for a treat, but my daily coffee is gone. With the weights, I haven't been sore yet. And I've been doing this for a few weeks now, and usually I would be sore for days. So I'm pretty excited about that. I was one of those people that always thought that I had a gluten sensitivity or a dairy sensitivity. And when I went to the doctor several years ago, that's what came up. However, even stopping the gluten and the dairy, I still would have a lot of tummy bloat no matter what I ate. It is gone. So if you're a belly bloat sufferer, you know what that means. So pretty excited about that. And this is the purity of the micronutrients that our bodies are flooded with, but just this community is so collaborative and just so uplifting. And after the, rough 2 years that the world has it's just been a place of a lot of hope and inspiration. And I just can't say enough wonderful things. So I'm so grateful to be a part of this and to be linking arms with these amazing humans. And we are here for you. So I'll pass this along.
Wow. Thank you. I love hearing everybody's story like over and over and over again, being in this company and just all of the inspiration that I get from health transformations. It's really powerful. So we'd love to open it up if there's any questions from our participants here. Any final thoughts from anybody? Again, we want to be mindful of your time. We're sorry it was a little confusing at the beginning with the lateness. But we love being here with you, and if there's any questions, just hop off and let us know. And otherwise, you can reach out to whoever brought you here for any other additional information or codes or any of it. Jane or Heather, do you guys have any questions? Eileen?
I have lots of questions. I guess I tried to do the alt, but I felt like it was a little too restrictive, and I was hungry, and I don't think I was serious enough about it. So I'm thinking about trying it again, but I want to wait till summertime. But I guess my question is, do you eat anything other than fruits and vegetables? Like my hardest, I guess my challenge is I have a family. I have to cook for my family. I have 2 growing boys. They want to eat meat. And it's hard for me sometimes to make 2 different meals. Like if I try to make vegan meals for myself and then also cook for them while working, a 9-hour day, it's just, I'm not as organized as I could be, I guess. But I guess my problem is what do I eat for the meals other than fruit and vegetables? I would probably need suggestions and a plan.
I'll chime in on that.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Yeah, and then Haley, if you want to say anything. Thanks, Heather. We're going to get through some answers Good.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. I would love to just say I'm in the same exact situation, whereas we eat meat in our house. We actually have a farm and raise meat, and it's actually a big part of our life. And I have a growing 9-year-old, and I'm pretty sure my husband is also still growing. So I totally get you. And in this container and on the private Facebook page, where I'm going to be right there with you and supporting you, and the recipe book is going to have some ideas. And then also on that Facebook page, I'm going to be posting like what I'm doing in my house, and to give you ideas for the following week or the following days. And it's totally possible. And you don't need to make completely separate meals. It's really just adding way more vegetables and fruits into your home, and downsizing the portions of meat or dairy, or whatever you may be eliminating for this program, decreasing it and making the fruits and vegetables larger portions, until really it's not a big deal that you or I or whomever is not having that portion of chicken or steak or whatever on this beautiful big salad, whereas everyone else in your house may be having the little salad bowl with everything else on their plate. So it's always a work in progress.
Thank you.
I'd like to add to that.
Yeah. Go ahead, Linda.
Heather. So I have I have my husband, and then we have our 16-year-old son, and then our 20-year-old son does not live with us anymore. He's on his own, but it's a process. It's a journey for sure. My husband and I are plant powered, and at home, our 16-year-old, he does eat a plant powered meal in addition to these superfoods. So what he eats a little bit than what my husband and I eat. I eat a fruit heavy diet, but this is still really pretty new to me. My husband, he just kind of nibbles on stuff throughout the day. But our son, who always tells us it's Vulcan season, Mom, because he's really working on putting on muscle mass, this has been a huge support for him, because he uses the Epigeneus Kids Shake and the aminos. But he eats a little bit different. He'll eat some rice, vegetables, and some plants, chicken, things like that in between meals. But he's starting to add a piece of fruit 15 to 20 minutes before his meal, so he can get that good cellular filtration going that he really truly needs for now and for his future. So it's just a process, and you have to find what works for you. But one of the biggest benefits that I've noticed is just adding in micronutrients made everything else so much easier, and it truly does become the foundation of your consumption. So it's a process, and you just learn as you go. And that's what's so cool about this container is we're all at some point in our journey as well. So the learning never ends.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add, because it's what helped me is to think of meat as a flavoring. And we stopped cooking with dairy once I switched my diet over, and I don't have kids. I just have a boyfriend who eats a lot. And so then we just started cooking meals. It's easy to cook meals that are dairy free, and the meat can be an extra additive. And it's exactly what these two ladies were saying. Just think of it as a flavoring. And so he would flavor his food with it, and I would not mine. And so that's just kind of how we did it. And we were eating the same things.
Okay, thank you. I'm really looking forward to the recipes.
Yeah, I'll chime in. It sounds like we got some good answers. I'm Jane. I'm on the Caribbean internet, so we'll see how this works. But thank you all for creating this container. I'm learning a lot in this realm. I haven't really had the healthiest food choices. So